Hello and welcome to another YouTube video in using NZGrapher to create graphs for the questionnaire assessment at level 2. First of all, go to Google and type out NZGrapher, NZGrapher. First thing that comes up is NZGrapher. There's a link there, just click on that and you come to this website here. Click on the X if it comes up, and on the top right of the page you can scroll down, you can see empty data set for editing, so click on that. What will come up on the left hand side is some columns here. Now what I've gotten students to do is collect data from their surveys, handing out their surveys to 6 different people. So what you have to do is each row represents one particular person. So we're going to add some extra rows here. There's already 3 rows and we'll add 3 more rows to get 6 of them. Okay. Also columns will represent the questions that you have selected and you want to draw up a graph, get NZGrapher to draw a graph for you on it. So add some columns here. What we'll do is we'll just have 4 at the moment, representing 4 different types of graphs. Okay, so your first column would be, let's say for instance this is your first question, could be for instance the gender of the person, so we'll put in gender here as the title. Gender, okay. And the first respondent could have said, well, they were male, so let's write that in, male. And next one also could have been male, and we could have had a female, and perhaps another female, and also a male. Alright, now this could be from your question 1, so maybe we will call this question 1 here, or it could even be question 2. You don't have to actually start at question 1 in particular. We could just call it question number 2. Now we're not going to do all of our questions, just going to take a range, a few different questions that you have. So we have several graphs that are displayed, different graph types, so not all of the questions will need to have graphs. So that's for our first question there, or second question we've selected there anyway. Next one. Okay, suppose you asked, for instance, let's make this a range question. How many hours, for instance, does a person spend on homework per day, or how many minutes do they spend? You could say homework minutes. This could be question 5, for instance. Okay. Homework minutes. Alright. So the first person could have said, say, they don't spend much time, so 10 minutes, which is not very good obviously. Next person could have 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 65 minutes, 35 minutes, let's say 45 minutes. Alright, so that was the same person who was male, the 6th person who filled in the survey. That last person who filled in the survey is also spending 45 minutes per day on homework. Now we have another question. We could cover, say, question number 7 or 6 or whatever. Let's suppose it's question 6, and let's suppose they are asked for their favourite fruit. I mean, we're just making this up here, so we can say favourite fruit, and it could be first person likes apples, orange, this person likes oranges as well, oranges, we'll just put an S on there anyway. Banana, whatever, we'll just make pear, and grapes there. Alright, now we're going to assume maybe this last one here could have been a rating scale question about opinion. Could have been, let's say question 10 could have been opinion on canteen or something, on the school canteen, let's assume. Okay, and we're assuming that 1 means it's quite bad, the canteen's quite bad. First person could have said, well, it's okay, it's 3, and 5 would be it's really good. So next person could say, this second male here could say, well, they like the canteen, 5. Female doesn't like the canteen and what they have to offer. Another female may reasonably like the canteen. Another female may really like the canteen, is a 5. And suppose this one here is just a 2 for a male there. Okay, now so we've covered here 4 different questions: question 2, question 5, question 6 and question 10 from your survey. You can just select whatever ones you like that are appropriate. However, you really do need to have some of them that have numbers in here. Okay, so you want to really deal with some numbers so we can do certain relevant charts and diagrams and things with the numbers. Okay, so let's just look at the first one here. We've got male and female. I was thinking, well, male and female, it might be good to just draw a simple pie chart for that there. So if you go down here to the about little thing here, you can select pie chart. Alright, and for the variable, we only need to do variable 1. We are going to choose, well, what's happened. Notice that what's happened, this is interesting because you probably see this. That was what the original titles were, number and group. Remember, I just changed everything over here. Okay, well, this happens, and if that does actually happen there, what you need to do is, after changing, I've just put in a whole lot of information, you have to click on Update Graph. Remember to do this, Update Graph. And then what happens is when we click on here, we'll see all the changes, okay? It doesn't automatically do that for you. So now we've got the different options of question 2, 5, 6 and 10. So if you click on gender, we've got a pie graph here, male and female. Now, the graph title is not what we want here. We want to change this to gender of respondents. Okay, and once again, you've got to actually click on Update Graph to get that to come up. Well, there we go. You can see it's 50 and 50. You might have something more interesting where you have 67% or whatever of male or whatever. Okay, so we've got that's what we want there. Now, what you're going to have to do is right click and copy the image and open up Microsoft Word. Okay, so we'll just wait for a while. Okay, here it is. So, it's come up quite quickly there for us. Okay, so I've copied, and then what I can do is press Control V. I'm not sure about the Apple computers, but PCs it's Control V, or you can right click and then select paste. I usually just press Control V to paste that image in there. Okay, so Control V, something's not happening here. Let's see what's going on. Hang on. Did I not copy the image? Let's just try it again. Not quite sure why it hasn't come up here. Quite surprised by that. That one there is the first time and nothing has come up. Let's just try it this way. No, well, it's refusing. Well, I'm wondering. Usually in Microsoft Word, we don't end up with any problems at all. So I'm quite surprised about that. Very surprised. Okay. Copy image. oh, here we go, was something there, so it's come up there, there's an option there. Well, it's usually Control V actually does work. So anyway, it looked like I had to. So you might have to just try this, go back there. It's weird, I press Control V and it just works. Very first time that's ever happened. Okay, so you can click on this little paste option here and it has come up. First time it's ever happened. Okay, so first time for everything there. So there we go. We've got sorry, I'd lose a bit of time there, but anyway, you can get on for the next thing and go down there and pasted that in. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go to question 5 and we can set pie graph. Instead of that, we're going to choose something else. We could choose, for instance, a histogram. That might be quite good for the homework minutes. Alright, so we here select homework minutes there to change it to that. So what a histogram does is it says anything between a certain range, so between 10 and 20 minutes there's one person, 30 and 40 minutes is one person, that must be this 35 minute person here, between 40 and 50 minutes is also one person. Okay, so it's that 45 minute person there. So it's a range between certain values there. However, have a look at this interval width bar here, and if you drag it across, notice that we could drag it like that and then change the width of the range here. So this is from 0 to 40. We now have 2 people who spend 40 minutes on their homework per day. Who spend between 0 and 40 minutes on their homework per day. So that would represent that the person who spends 10 minutes and the person who spends 35 minutes. There's 2 of them. Okay, but there's 3 people who spend between 40 minutes and 80 minutes. Okay, 3 people. So you can see over here 60 minutes, 65 minutes, and 45 minutes, and they're all between 40 and 80, and the other ones is only one person between 80 and 120. It's a 90-minute person there. Anyway, the point is that we can change this interval width. Suppose we wanted to look at that and analyze and think, well, that's more interesting than the other one that we originally had, that bar thing there. Better to put everything together, perhaps, like that. We can even go further. If you want to have just 2, you can see, oh, majority of people don't spend as much time. There's only a few people, one person who spends a lot. So you could write up something about that as well if you wanted to. Let's just stick to this one in the middle with 3 different bars here, just for our sake. You can do whatever you like here, as long as it gives you something interesting that you can then write about. You need to write about the percentages. Alright, so let's go over here and just paste that in. Hopefully we won't have problems here. So click and then paste. Alright, there we go. Alright, so it's all there, and go back and try another different type of graph. Now this other one here, question number 6, well, I was thinking, well, maybe we could use a bar graph for that one. Okay, so now that's automatically come up with the homework minutes as a bar graph. Now we don't want that, so bar graph, but then you have to change this here, the variable 1 to favourite fruit, question 6. And we can see here apples, banana, grapes, oranges, pear, and they've come up. Alright, one thing that I haven't done, looks like I've left out up until now, which is not very good. I've been forgetting to change the title. We'll do this at least for this one here. You should have done that for the other one as well, the homework minutes, but we'll just do it for this one, just for the sake of the video here. So we've got favourite spell it New Zealand spelling here. Okay, it says it's spelled wrong. It's because it's an American spelling system. They're saying it's wrong there. Anyway, fruit of respondents. Alright, so click on update graph and that will fix it for us. Make sure you do that each time, otherwise you're going to get the wrong title that we used for the original thing, the we're using over earlier on. Okay, so favorite fruit of respondents, and then it's ready to copy. Copy image, and that one had the wrong title, but it doesn't matter. We can, when you do it, make sure you fix it and do it right. Okay, here. So it's not going to work. Control V. Just click on here. Okay, right. So we've got our third graph here, pie graph, and we'll go for our very last graph here. Opinion on canteen, the rating scale question that we had there. So what we could do is, what you might want to do is a box and whisker. Let's just see what actually happens, whether it turns out nice or not. That's the whole thing. Be interesting to see what it actually looks like. Box and whisker diagram. Let's just try it anyway. Alright, so that's giving us a dot plot to begin with. When you do the box and whisker, you actually do have to click on a few extra things here. You can get summaries if you want to. It gives a little bit of extra information, a minimum, lower quartile, mean, the median mean, the upper quartile, maximum, etc., and some other things here as well. So click on box plots as well. Alright, so summaries, this gives you more information, and here we can see our minimum is 1, lower quartile is 2, median was 3.5, and between these two values here, 3 and 4, and our upper quartile, also maximum, is the same, it's 5. Okay, sometimes there's a little line that goes at the end, but that's fine. Okay, so it's just a box and whisker diagram, which would be quite useful as well to put in. So you've got a variety of different types of graphs that you can write up about, and of course you could say that after this. You could say, well, according to the box and whisker diagram, we can see there's a minimum here, and the median was 3.5, for instance, and so maximum of 5. You just, I mean, it's pretty obvious, really. But you know, if we're only doing it for a few people, and it would look a little bit more relevant if it was, say, 100 people or whatever, but just a test run, and just to show the teacher who's marking or whatever that you can actually do it. You can bring up a graph, and you can write a bit about it as well, about the graph that comes up. So what we'll do is also change the title of that as well. So this is question, we don't need to write down question 10, we can say opinion on canteen. Okay, and then click on update graph, and we'll copy the image and paste that in here as well into our Word document. Oops, I keep forgetting and clicking on Control V, which has worked until now. Anyway, sometimes you have to right click and then select the right little option there to paste it in. Okay, so we've got our 4 graphs. Make sure you write up about them as well, and it all looks good. That's all fine. It's giving a good variety of different graphs in there. Right, that's fine. Thanks.